Hi guys! So today I am going to talk to you about how I grew my green thumb. Um, I was not always this much into plants. It came over time. Someone recently asked me, did I always grow up knowing all this stuff that I know now, or did I learn it? And I definitely learned it. I definitely taught myself. The interest was there and the want was there, but I taught myself over several years, many years actually, how to grow all these beautiful green things. And I'm going to pack up some seeds for my coming up seed swap and talk to you guys today. And I also have lots of pictures. I went and I looked through all the pictures of my past gardening experience and put them together for you. So I'm going to talk about them while I pack up some seeds. I think the first seeds I'm going to pack up here today, some easy ones I have to pack, are these Rosa Sharon seeds. I got them from my neighbor's little Rosa Sharon bush. So I'm going to label them and put a few in each one of these bags and talk to you. So just to get started here, I decided to start growing plants, vegetables, and growing my garden for many reasons. Firstly, I love nature, and growing plants helps me feel more peaceful and connected with the environment. And I love watching stuff grow. You feel like a master when you grew something little from a seed and it makes you food you can eat. It's really satisfying. So also growing my own food allows me to have a deeper appreciation for where my food comes from and helps me have a healthier lifestyle. I know everything that went into that food I grew, which is pretty cool. Let's see. My mom used to garden a lot when I was really little. When my siblings and I were kind of babies and she was home, she had a big garden. My neighbor gardened. I used to hang out with her in the garden. I remember my grandfather gardening. He had a lot of flowers. I don't remember him doing vegetable gardens a lot. My mom's dad, but my dad's dad had big vegetable gardens. Um, and my mom also she would garden and then she would can with my aunt Sheila. They did J&S Kitchens and they would go like berry picking and stuff and can the jam. So that was cool. I remember her doing that. She always had a lot of houseplants as well. So when I started with the homemaking, when I started having the babies and staying home, I felt like I wanted to start trying out some plants. Especially since I was staying at home, I needed stuff to keep me busy. I did have my babies, but you always want more. So I started growing, and I really started growing. We were living up in upstate New York. It was almost Canada. The growing season is very short there. It's very cold there, and it definitely made it challenging. But I was obsessed with Pinterest then, and Pinterest always had a million ideas on it. So just to show you, I'm going to start writing on my envelopes, but here is one of my first trays of seeds I started. I don't know what is in here. Let's see. There was a 70-degree stretch of spring weather in New York, and I had started all my tomato seeds and some flower seeds in New York. So that's what I got here in these little eggshells and egg crates. I just got some potting soil, and that was the first time I started and tried to do seeds. Then I grew some herbs from those seeds. Here you can see some sitting in my window with the snow right outside of it. I put them in tin cans because I didn't have a lot of pots. There's a little baby basil there and some oregano, and I was so proud. I don't think they even got big enough for me to really harvest them because I didn't have drain holes. I didn't know a lot of stuff. But I did it. I tried it. I also tried this really cool thing, which was a hanging soda bottle. I actually spray painted it because it was a clear one, and I put the tomato in it so it would grow upside down. Now, this also didn't really work. I don't know if it was the paint, the dirt, the bottle wasn't big enough, all the above things, but it really didn't work out for me. But I tried, guys, and there is a little baby tomato poking out of there. So here's some of the other seeds I started. I used a lot of little toilet paper roll jobs where you fold the bottom and put the dirt in. a little tray with foil. And I use these burpee seeds to start. Like, I think it was a tomato hybrid because I was going to be doing it in a pot on a patio. So they never got too big on me. I didn't know anything about determinate and indeterminate back then. Then here we have some garlic. I just think I stuck this in dirt. I had some garlic that sprouted and I stuck it in the dirt. And it was inside. I did it in the spring and the winter. You can see the snow outside. But I actually grew some greens. I don't think it's in a non-draining glass jar here, so I don't think anything came of it. But again, I'm learning, guys, learning. Then Mother's Day, my husband, since I was starting to get into growing things, he brought me some flowers and a lily. Love it. I put those flowers outside my little garden here, which is not weeded at all. But I will weed it, but I put them in this little pot that I had. Then here are some of my seeds that I started inside. I got the tomato. I got some squash. And I think some beans. So I had started all this, but some of it got charred here by a little frost because I was bringing them in and out. That one got hit a little. Here's some updates on my tomatoes later in that summer. You can see that I actually have fruit. I didn't have any cages or anything. I don't remember if this was determinate or indeterminate or what. It didn't get much bigger than this, so that was pretty good. I think that was because it was a hybrid. Here's some more tomatoes. And then I grew these little blue flowers. I feel like they might have been bachelor buttons, or I'm not sure what they were, little blue cornflowers. I grew them from seed. I was super proud. It was the only flower I grew that, from seed. Here's the squash. You could see the little squash on there. I don't think I got a full squash to eat that summer, but you could see it starting. It probably wasn't a big enough pot for it, but again, didn't know what I was doing. Here's me cleaning up the front garden here, and we always find toads when we're gardening. And here is my little baby who is now almost 11. This was in our apartment in New York. So that was my first year of attempting to garden, guys. It was tough. It was learning curves everywhere. So, but I did it. I'm going to pour some of these seeds now. Let's see. We got Rosa, Sharon. Seeds. I'm going to put these germinated pretty well. I'm going to do, I don't know, a handful. I don't know how many is that. Put that many in there. You're like in the little bags, these little envelopes. One day I'm going to get stamped to put on here so I can just stamp my stuff. But for now, these are cute. Got them on Amazon. All right. So next up, I had another growing season in northern New York maybe, and I managed a few flowers. But that second season, it was going to be my daughter being born, so I did a little bit less that year. I started my lemon tree from seed, though, up there, which was pretty insane. I saved some organic lemon seeds that I got from the store, and I grew my tree and a couple other trees. Mine I kept, and I still have it, but I think it's not going to make it past this year. It just it doesn't make me any lemons. You'll see in here later, it is attempted to make me lemons a few years, but just really didn't. I also have a shamrock that was gifted to me when I was up there that I still have alive to this day. It'll be flowering on some of these pictures, which is really cool. And then we had moved back to Maryland, and then I started renting again, which is still tough for gardening. But here's some of the things I managed to grow while we were renting there. Oh, here's my lemon tree with a little tiny baby lemon on it that fell off and never got big enough because at this point I wasn't really giving it any fertilizer. I didn't know I should fertilize it. It was doing well. It was getting good light. It was keeping its leaves all winter, but I hadn't fertilized it yet, and I didn't know. And I think that's why it really never made it past this little stage. Here is some things I grew. Let's see, what are these? I think I have a little chili pepper there and a basil plant. They still look so tiny, don't they? So sad. I think I did get some basil off of there. I don't think I got any peppers this year, though. Then here, I tried to do pumpkins. My friend brought me this pallet wood for a craft party we had, and I screwed them all together and made a little pumpkin trough, and I wanted them trailing off my yard. These also didn't make it. They got eaten by squash bugs. Like, I had the most pests ever in this little townhouse yard. It was insane. But there's my pumpkins, pumpkin babies. Then here, this were some green beans with some carrots I planted. I think I did get some green beans off this. I don't think I got any carrots. This, oh my gosh, I saw this on Pinterest and I tried to use this laundry basket with a t-shirt to hold the dirt and do strawberries. You can see them down there on the side, kind of poking out. I might have gotten a couple strawberries, but I'm pretty sure there were some slugs that were eating them. I should have just put them in the top of the basket and let them grow. I didn't need to put them growing out of the side, but I thought that was cool. Again, they died. Then I did tomatoes. I did okay with the tomatoes this year. You can see I have 2 of them in that bin. I got a tomato cage. But this is the year I learned about the tomato hornworm. When I first saw one of these guys, I was like, what planet is this from? And it wasn't just the worm when I saw it first. They were covered in the larva from the wasp that you want. You want that because they kill the hornworms. But it's like that little worm with all the larvae hanging on its back. And I was just like, what? Do I pull this off? I didn't even know. I did wind up ripping it all of them off with the larva and everything and just throwing them away. But it was quite disturbing to learn that lesson. Here's some more things I was growing. Let's see. We got a celery plant on the left that I kind of cut from kitchen scraps and plopped in. That was kind of cool. I don't know if I ate anything off that, but I was growing it. And then I had some lettuce. Here's some spinach. I don't think it really made me much to eat again, but it was just the growing it. I was trying. Here I think I have chives, a rosemary, and some spring onions. I definitely got chives and I got rosemary. I don't know if I got any spring onions, but the chives and rosemary were, I think my mom gave them to me from her plants at her house. So I didn't start those ones from seed. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, here we got some mint, thyme, basil, dill, bachelor button flowers, and a tomato plant that I needed to put into a bigger pot. And I actually don't think I have mint. I think it's sage. I thought it was mint, and I kept saying it was mint, but it was sage then. Because I remember my mother-in-law eating it being like, this is not mint action, this is sage. Anyway, I know better now. So that was my attempt at growing at that townhouse we lived in, which actually the past 2 houses were townhouses, but this was my Maryland townhouse. So those were definitely good times. But then we bought our current home, and it doesn't have the best nice flat yard. It really, the front, maybe I could get a big garden in it, but I didn't want a big garden on my front lawn because I never had my own front lawn before, so I wanted it to be my front lawn for the kids to run in. But I've been container gardening all along, so I just kept on going in totes on the side where it was as little hilly as possible. And I grew things each year. Even the year I broke my foot, I grew a bunch of things. So that was pretty awesome. We're in 2018 now when I moved into this house. This front little garden here was a light post that when we moved in was covered, which I'll have to add this to this page. It was covered with ivy all the way up. It was like grown into the light. It was just an ivy pole pretty much. We cleared it all away and we got a new light post, which actually still doesn't work. I don't know what happened with that, but we bought some plants, we bought some mulch, we bought the bricks, we made it all cute. I think my grandmother bought me those little pansies there for a housewarming gift, which is so sweet. I miss that woman. But so this is our first spring here in this house. And here's some seed babies I started, probably some tomatoes. Again, in my little toilet paper rolls. I have this lovely south-facing window, which I use a lot in this house. Here's some more seeds. I grew a lot of mushrooms too with the seeds. It's just easy to do. It's something that happens. I kind of just pick them off. Now sometimes I add a fan or put some cinnamon to have less mushroom, but I think mushrooms can be good. I don't even know what I got growing here. Lots of seedlings. Here is one of the first years. Yeah, you can see my lemon tree, and you can see my shamrock that I was gifted, and all my little seedling babies started. I up-potted some of them. This is that south-facing window. And yes, this is the year I broke my foot. You can see my foot there. And here is pretty much what I harvested that year because I couldn't get out to water things. I had stuff started and stuff put out, but I couldn't get out to water. My poor tomatoes, look at them bursting. And I just basically got tomatoes, herbs, and a little bit of spinach that year. So, but something, guys, something. So then we move on to 2019, and I start going harder this year. So my foot is better. You can see all those little seedlings weathering on that front porch. I got full tomatoes in the window, growing tall before they can be planted outside. Lots of things. I've up-potted. I have a coffee tin there. I save all the yogurt cups. I save all my plastic trays to grow all kinds of things in this wonderful window. Still, I don't think I had any grow lights this year either. No grow lights at all the past, I started 17, 18, 19, those 3 years. No grow lights, guys, just the sun. I was so proud of these zinnias in that little pot. I grew those from seed. And here's a tomato haul from that year. Now, I probably got more tomatoes than this, but this is just one of them. And some more bachelor buttons I grew. Then we move into 2020, which I'm sure a lot of people got into gardening that year. And I just keep on trucking. Added lots more plants. And this is when I got into houseplants a little bit more. I started adding spider plants. I got aloe. I have here you can see I was giving away free spider plants because I had so many. I just put them out front. I bought this little side round bed to put next to my house with the bins. I think I got this on Wish. It was like a green fabric circle that I added over there and made my garden bigger. And here, oh my gosh, this aloe. My sister, I think, was gifted it from someone, and then she moved, and then I got it, and this thing was suffering in this pot. Look how sad it looks. It was falling over. So I basically got a new pot for it. I took some of the babies out, made some more aloe plants. It looks so much better. And you can see some of the pieces I cut off there too, which in 2020 I actually made hand sanitizer with because there was a shortage of that and everyone was all germophobic. So I made, out of those aloe branches, hand sanitizer, which maybe I'll do again in a video for you guys. I don't know what this plant was. Something I was proud of growing and took a picture of. Maybe a baby sunflower, I think. Or rutabaga. Like at Susan's, I definitely grew some of those from seed. And here's the lettuce haul from that year too. I grew a lot of lettuce. Oh, and here I had some parsley on my back deck, and we had the swallowtail caterpillars. And I let them have it. They were so cute. It was near the end of the season. And that parsley actually came back. I forgot to eat all down from these caterpillars. So pretty cool. So now we're going to enter 2021. And this is close to when my mom had retired and she started getting back into gardening. I was encouraging her because I was getting into it. And so we were growing her garden in these pictures here. We got her dirt. We got our new garden beds built. It was exciting. It's also the year I got puppies. So that's when Bogey and Birdie came. I know that doesn't have to do with my garden, but my mom definitely influences my garden and helping her, and so that's a part of it. But the dogs, that's just because you need cute puppy pictures. All right, so here is my side garden again. As you can see, that green fabric circle that I bought, I added a wattle around it. I just put the stakes in and I weaved vines to kind of reinforce it because it was starting to degrade and the dirt was coming out. Also, my husband made me this wooden box that I put other totes in, so it looked a little bit nicer. That's my side garden in the beginning, in the spring. And I also got the stand-up garden, which is my herb garden. And you can see that year I even planted stuff in it and brought it inside, and before it could be out. That was wild. And there's my window again, just fitting as much as I possibly can in that south-facing window. I can't tell from this picture if I have any grow lights or not yet. I still don't think I had grow lights that year. I don't think I got them until 2022. Here is my lemon tree. This is another year where it flowered and it started producing a baby lemon, but again, it fell off. I don't know. I think I was fertilizing at this point, but it just didn't have enough oomph to produce. And I think this is the last time I ever saw anything resembling a lemon on it. I also got really big into propagating. I started saving a lot of jars and cutting my house plants. I got pothos, I got spider plants, I got snake plants, and there's a lot of propagation happening. Oh, and this seed here, I am so proud of that. They are apricot pits from my mother-in-law's apricot tree in New Mexico. And I got it to germinate, and I planted it, and a tree grew. I'll show you the tree later on, but that's it germinating this spring. Super exciting. And there's all my seedlings sitting out, and my lemon tree getting some sun and starting that hardening off process in the spring on a warm day. There they are again, hardening off, and my little window planters, my owls from my sister. I love them. I try to keep succulents in them. I've killed a lot of succulents, guys. I don't know why I have such a hard time with them. Here they are. Oh, here's some succulents I found. They were kind of growing in a crack in the street. It's a kind of a sedum. And I pulled that. It looks so cute. And here's a snake plant I was propagating. You can see its little roots. That was exciting the first time I did that. Here's my garden again. I was trying to kind of build a trellis for my green beans. It was not strong enough, guys. That little setup I got there, for sure, it came down. Here's some other things starting. Tomatoes, I think. Maybe some peppers and flowers. Here's a sweet pea harvest. That's exciting. Those are pretty easy to grow. I like those. Here is my grandmother. I believe this is the year that she passed. She gave me my spider plant, and why I have 9 million spider plants now. I give them to everyone. I got that from her. She definitely was a houseplant girl. Had a bunch. She had jade plants that she loved, and the Wandering Jew. She was a plant lady. Here is my doggies out front, looking at all my houseplants, probably getting a wash down in the spring or the summer. Just had them all out. It looks like it might have rained, and I put them all out to catch the rainwater. And then this looks like next to it is a propagation of a geranium, which is also really exciting. You just put it in water and it rooted. I also think having my well water helps, so I don't have a lot of the extra chlorine and chemicals and things in it. But geraniums I've rooted. And then next to that, I think that's chrysanthemum I cut. I pruned my chrysanthemum, and I left them in water for a little bit, and then I dipped them in rooting hormone and put them in the dirt, and a lot of them rooted. I don't think I did well keeping them alive, and they didn't flower, but I got them to, I started learning how to do it. I might try that again this year. Here we are in my little front garden again with some other plants. That looks like a dahlia my neighbor gave me, which I loved it, but I didn't realize it didn't have holes in the bottom. So I had it sitting out all summer, and it never was draining, and it got, oh my God, it smelled so bad. And then she gave me that because she was moving and she couldn't take off. She was a big plant lady. God, Jackie, if you watch this, I love you. I miss you. I miss your green thumb. So she gave me her dahlia, and then she gave me this other pot here that has, I think it had a shamrock in the top and then some creeping jenny falling down the side. And I loved that. It was gorgeous. It sat out there looking so gorgeous. I'm going to try and get some creeping jenny again this year. And that actually came back a second year, but then it died after that. I think maybe it was too cold that next winter. But I love that planter. Here is, okay, so I do a lot of these bucket planters off the back of my deck because I have a high deck. And I tried to do the upside down tomato again, like you saw me do back in New York with the little soda bottle. The big buckets work way better. I definitely have had success with cherry tomatoes. Doesn't look like there's a big one coming out of this one this year, but I always put marigolds and basil in the top and then a cherry tomato in the bottom. Sometimes I think I put too much in the top so the tomato can't root out as much. We're going to work on that this year, doing better. And I think there's another froggy friend there. Here is some snake plant. Oh my goodness, this snake plant here in this picture I propagated in that little silver tin. I'm going to put a picture of what it looks like now under it. I'm so proud of that baby. But those were just propagations, and I stuck them in there when they started to root, and now it's a full plant. It's amazing. This is 2021, now it's 2024. So that's how long it'll take. Let's see, then I have all my little owl planters. It looks like I have some spider plants in there. They definitely won't get too big for these little planters, but I put them in there to just start. I love using those guys. Oh, here is my chrysanthemum propagation again. Exciting. You can see the roots. I'm so proud that I propagated that. I'm not sure. I think this was a lantana plant, and I was trying to figure out what it was because my neighbor was like, "Here, I got a free plant. Have it." And I was taking pictures trying to figure out, and then a beautiful zinnia from my garden that I grew. So proud of zinnias. Then let's see. We have some lilies. I was gifted these for Mother's Day from my kids and my husband because my daughter's name is Lily. And I planted them out front, and they come back every year. They're out there under the post, and they come back, and they're beautiful and pink, and I love them. Then next to that, we have some, oh my gosh, avocado seeds that I'm propagating. And you can see their little root. I actually have one tree right now. It's probably about 2 feet tall. It struggles in the winter with pests and not enough light and humidity. But in the summer, it's just like, so we'll see. I'm really not good at keeping trees alive that have to be inside in the winter, like my lemon tree and that avocado tree, but we'll see. And then the red flowers there are geraniums that I love to A, propagate, and B, if you deadhead them, they will just continue and continue and continue to make beautiful red flowers all summer. So this was me deadheading and pulling them off when they had started to die a little and putting them in it so I can enjoy them a little bit more while the plant made more flowers for me. So here is another frog friend. I think this is a wood frog. Lots of frogs all the time. I'm not sure what that little red flower was. Maybe it's one of my zinnias. Oh my gosh, the pink right here is my apricot tree. I'm so proud of that thing. I'm pretty sure it even went dormant one winter. I put it outside and it just came all the way back to life. All the leaves came back. I was like, this guy, he is now in the ground at my mom's house. I will do a little short update on him at some point in time. It'd be really cool if he would make apricots. He's still pretty tiny, but he came from the high desert of New Mexico and is now living in like the wetlands of Maryland. We'll see how it does. And the other thing next to it here, that is a sedum. It was a variegated sedum. This was a plant that was growing in the flower bed in Ocean City near our condo. And I had never seen that white and green sedum before. My mom has all kinds of the green that look like it in her yard, but not that variegated kind. And so I clipped 2 stems of it, put it in water, and brought it home, and it rooted. And I propagated it. And it came back one year, because sedum should be able to be left outside in the winter, but that other winter it killed it. The same winter that killed my creeping Jenny, I think. So I'm going to have to try and find some more of that again. But I propagated it. It's so cool, guys, how plants let you just do this. So here's my garden this year. I had sunflowers in it. It's just like, I can't even tell you what else in there. Sunflowers, tomatoes, there's probably green beans. It's really a lot of tomato and zinnia and sunflowers. Here they are again, like leaning over. I'm pretty sure I had to put some stakes in there and tie them up a little bit. So cool. Look at that side garden. Here I have the Chinese lantern flowers here that I was just scoping out because because they look beautiful. And then my chilies, they're not really chilies, they're cayenne peppers that I started. This is the year I started hanging them in my kitchen. And I think the next one, yes, this is one of my tomato hauls. A lot of times when I had to pick some of them green, if the frost was coming, or just if I need to pick them for whatever reason, if they're a little green, so I stick them in the window so they can ripen until they can all turn red. It's really a pretty sight in the summer in my kitchen. Here is a pink geranium I think I was gifted, and I also propagated that guy and some other zinnias in a bouquet. Here's me enjoying my summer porch. Flowers, love it. Now I have my gazebo out there. Here is when I was bringing things in for that year. I built that propagation shelf, the smaller one, so I can hang stuff in the window. And then this is the year I have these big front windows. They kind of face my, a northwestern side of my house. They don't get as much sun as the other windows, but it's a deep window, and I get a big old shelf in there, and that's where I put a lot of my houseplants in the winter because they get a lot of sun. And it's just a good spot. So you see my aloe living it up there. Looks good. Oh, and this is an ice plant, a purple ice plant. And my sister had it everywhere by her pool when they bought their new house here in Maryland. And I took some and planted it, and I have it here growing in this terracotta pot. It loves it. It comes back. Every year it comes back. Just put it in the sun. It's beautiful. Now we are on to 2022. And this year I got chip drop. Which I'll link it, but you basically call the tree cutting companies and they come and after they do a day's work and they have a dump truck full of wood chips, they come and dump it for you to have, and it is free. And I had them dump it kind of the top right of my driveway, and it was covering my driveway. So that day when they dropped it off, I went out there and shoveled a bunch of it out of the way so my husband could pull in and park, because I even wasn't home, I don't think, when they brought it. I think I was visiting my new baby nephew. But this was a mountain of wood chips, and I took it, I put it in some gardens around my house, and then I have in my woods, it's very slopey and steep, and there's a lot of marsh, and so I made pathways behind my house, which I'll show you shortly. But here's some seeds starting. Oh, this was a pie tray I used. And this is the first year I tried to do microgreens, which was fun. I did them again this year. I don't do them every year, but I feel like maybe I should because they're so easy and you just add them to salads. Let's see. Here is some snake plant propagation, and then you can really see my path that I was using the wood chips for. It was a lot of work. I had to fill the wheelbarrow, which is old and squeaky and terrible, but it did its job, and just walk up and down these hills, and I made pathways into the woods, and it looked when it was fresh, it looked really nice. I kind of covered up a lot of English ivy. I didn't really do anything to keep it from, going into the earth, so it doesn't look nearly as nice anymore. But it was very cool, the little pathways that I created with that chip drop. I would love to do it again. Andy doesn't want me to do it again. Because it's a giant pile of wood chips in your front yard, and I can't really have them drop it in my backyard because we live on a hill. Maybe, but not this year. I got other projects. But it looks so nice. Love it. Here's down where my elderberry tree is, which I didn't even know it was there when I was doing this project. And it's actually before a few trees fell during a storm, so they might not have even been getting enough light to flower then. But there is all elderberry trees in here. I don't even know it yet. Here's some more. Here's my plant shelf before they go out, and some more snake plant propagations. Here's another, I don't know what the speckled plant is. I hated it. It was all on the side of my house in the shade, and I ripped it all out. Now some of it's down back where the wood chips go. But, some more yard I cleared. Let's see. Oh, this is my neighbor's yard. She had this little rock stairway here, and it had giant hosta that would grow up on either side of it, almost so big that you couldn't even see the steps and walk down them in the summer. And she has a hate relationship with hosta. She just doesn't like it. And I wanted something to border my yard because I have like a drop off and I have grass and then it's ivy. So I wanted the hosta. So I went over there and I dug up every single one of those little hostas in the spring before they started sprouting and planted them all in my yard. It was probably like 3 wheelbarrows full because they're like the giant hosta leaves too. Not like the little ones, the giant hosta. I don't know what else it's called. Here's another strawberry planting technique that I just had to try. I don't know why. The thing with the holes, but this is one of those IKEA bag holders, and I put strawberries in there. I don't know if these were Everbearing or June. I bought them from a woman on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't think they made me any. Maybe I got a couple strawberries off them, but I don't remember. Here is my side garden too. You see the wattle, and I'm adding some more totes going down. This keeps growing. Then some more avocado propagation, and this year I wanted to put a bar on the back to hang a lot of plants on, and I hung it there, but then I couldn't see them, and they're my houseplants, and I wanted to be able to see them, so I tried this out, but I didn't wind up sticking with it. I wound up putting more tomatoes back there to hang down. Here is a wild poppy, a wood poppy that I grows in my neighbor's yard in the woods a lot, and I would love to make it prolific back in my woods because it sprouts right about the same time when this video is coming out. The end of March, beginning of April, they're everywhere, all on his little back wooded hillside, and I'm trying to get them in mine. I dug one up last year. I haven't seen it yet in my yard. I dug it from his yard and moved it to mine. We'll see. And then here's some more plants out there hardening off. This is actually my mom's potting bench. Like I said, she's a big inspiration for me and my garden growing, and I went over there to help her make this. That was a fun video, and we made it on her channel, so I can link it for you right here. Let's see. Then here's my lemon tree. It's looking good. It's outside. It's happy to be outside, especially when I put it on this southern side this year. Here, I think this is on my sunflower, maybe. I don't know what these little beetles are, but they're pretty pesty. Then, I got irises that I got from my mom. Those big purple bearded irises, they're beautiful. I always come back. And my giant snake plant that I've propagated many other snake plants from now. He just lives in that corner of my front porch all summer. And here's the ice plant again, looking good. Reach for the sun. And this is when we had the big storm that took down a lot more trees. Both my neighbors had sheds that were messed up from trees, and I definitely think they fell and made a lot more room for my elderberry to get sun, which was awesome for that, but not awesome for their sheds. But everything is fixed now. But I remember that my sunflower fell during that storm. And here you can kind of see in the other picture of my deck, behind the grill there is a big oak tree, and that's one of the trees that fell during that storm. So there's a lot more sun that comes right there on my deck now that oak tree was blocking before. Let's see, here's the sunflower up before it fell. Here's some more of those little pests on my sunflowers, some zinnias. Here we go. I'm not sure what this is. Here, something growing. Cantaloupe. That's the year I grew a couple cantaloupes. They didn't get big enough. I think maybe got about that big. We had to go on vacation, and I wasn't able to water it because they take a lot of water to grow, and I think I wasn't here to water it regularly, so it kind of got stunted. And the other one is I think it's a mandeville flower. It's a vining pink flower, which I also managed to keep alive inside one winter, and then another winter I cut it because it was going to frost, and I put it in some water and I left it there for a long time, and it rooted. I didn't even mean to do it, but it rooted, and I planted it. But then I never got to flower again from that rooting. I don't know if propagating that way means it doesn't get to the flowers, but that I haven't made more since then. I do like that plant. Maybe I need to buy another one this year. Here's my lily again, and some tomatoes, and my little birdie garden dog. And look, there's the mandeville again. I love it. Here's some good harvest. I got some good harvest this year. Cucumbers, tomatoes, zinnias. More tomatoes. There's those little baby cantaloupes. They really didn't get much bigger than that because the plant shriveled up and died because it gave everything it could to the fruit. Because I wasn't here to water it. More harvest. Look at that. I love that harvest. This is a morning glory and lavender. What else do I have here? This looks like some more tomatoes growing on the side. Oh, my back deck. Look at all those beautiful plants. Spider plants, ice plants. Oh, love it. My plant stacker with some lettuce in it. This is my flower wattle, which when I made it, I didn't take any pictures of making it. I just knew I wanted another bed that I could just put flowers in. And this was when it was full of zinnias, looking fabulous. Zinnias and snapdragons, I think. I did a lot of bouquets that year. Here you can see I have a jack-o'-lantern out. So this is fall. This is my propagation window and one of my watering June plants that I have brought in because it's starting to get cold. And this pumpkin with my little nephew, my mom grew in her garden. Look how giant that is. We had a family friend who lives in West Virginia give me the seeds for those giant pumpkins. His name is David Canfield. He's passed, but now we call them the David Canfield pumpkins, and maybe we'll try and grow it again. My mom, that pumpkin is definitely a novelty. It was everybody posed with it. It was a fun year. And then the other is my lemon tree, which I brought inside that year. And I put that actually even upstairs in my south-facing window upstairs because it had so many pests. And I wanted to keep it away from my other plants. And my shower is upstairs. So to help it survive the pests more, I could carry it to the shower and give it a wash. And I was doing that like once a week. Let me tell you, the lemon tree has thorns. And it hurts. So I survived it, but I don't know if it will survive me this year. I'm done fighting its thorns and its pests. And this I had to put in here. This is actually my mom's garden, but there's my daughter in there finding carrots. Was going on a carrot hunt, and she's just crawling in there. It was so cute. So we love the garden here. All right, so now from this point on, I just keep adding plants and pots and bins and knowledge, and I kill a lot of things. And some things I never even managed to start growing. They just couldn't grow for me. But the stuff that I grew far outweighed. The propagations, the seeds, the plants, so much stuff I've grown. I just Google it, guys. Google. And anytime somebody wants to talk about plants with me or give me plants or flowers or seeds, I say yes, I'll try it. I'll take it. I'm down. When that person asked me, did I grow up knowing this stuff or what? I was like, did I? I had to think about it for a minute because I'm so into it right now, and I didn't. I really did not. 2017 is when I first started, and I thought I had a black thumb. I just kept trying, and stuff was not fruitful, but I was like, I'm going to try again because it's fun. And now I do have a green thumb. So it's awesome. So let's see, here we got 2023, which this past year, or 2024 now, last June is when I started making this YouTube channel. So I have a few things before June that I can show you that I didn't have videoed. But here's some more seeds I started. As you can see, the toilet paper rolls, and those plastic trays are from chicken from the store. That's this last spring in 2023 is when I made those 2 pallet garden beds at the top of my garden. I did not video them. My mom helped me and we did it. And then I made that recent video, which I'll link for you for the other 2 that I made. I also have my little grill beds that year because there was an old grill and it was too corroded for my husband to use. So I just took the 2 pieces and made them 2 little beds. Came out pretty cool. Here's some more seeds I'm starting. The trellis at my mom's house. She desperately wanted a climbing rose with an archway, so I went over there and we put this bad boy together. And my siblings and I got her a rose for Mother's Day. I'll have to see if I can add a picture to it, what it looks like today with the rose on it. It's not blooming yet because it's still early, but there's big rose hanging on the one side of it now. And it's a little bit slanty, definitely homemade, not made to really last forever, but we did a good job. More seeds starting in that southern window. I definitely have lights now. This last spring I had a lot of lights. I put a lot of stuff. I started down in my basement and I moved it up. And here it is in the southern window with some of the grow lights there on it. You can see I even had like boards so I could extend my shelf because I had so. Now I have seedlings in every, even more, like double that or triple. Here's some little tomato seedlings that I didn't have the heart to get rid of. I had too many, and so I just put them in water. But I made the mistake of mixing up the kinds, so I didn't know which one was cherry, which one was beef. This year I have some in water like that, but they're just cherry, or they're just so if I do want to take one out and plant one, I'll know what it is. Also, I did not get compost and pay for dirt when I got those 2 bins last spring. I went to my dump, my local Harford County dump, and they have mulch and compost, and you can scoop your own. I think you get 4 bins, and this is me. I probably have a little bit more than 4 bins there. I just went and filled every bin and bucket that I had, and I did that probably 10 times. And I filled the bins, I filled all my pots, and that compost worked. It was nice, but it definitely was lacking. So this year I got the mushroom compost to add to it, and I think both of them together will really make some things grow, guys. I'm excited. And here is my winter sowing, which I actually did for the first time really successfully last spring. You can see here stuff was starting to grow, so I have my plastic tote to cover them. It was still freezing at night. This was probably in April. And I opened a lot of it because it gets growing too big in the milk carton, so you got to open it. So that's what I did until it starts not freezing, and then you just naturally hardens off. It's pretty awesome. So I'll be doing this soon this year. Here is my window view seedlings growing again. Oh, this morning glory that I grew from seed, and it was hanging out on my front porch last year. Those things want to grow up so bad. It grew up that hanging planter so many times I would pull it off. I'm curious if I'll have any out in that mulch because they definitely seed. Oh, and here is the window. Tulips. I saw these red tulips on my walk the year before this, and I was like, I need to have red tulips. They're just too gorgeous. And my mom got me some bulbs, and these are up in my front planter where the post is. They make me happy. I have some in the back too. Put them all around in little places. And here's my side garden getting ready. This year I got rid of the wattle because it just kept breaking down so much, and I bought 4 of those. They're like concrete squares that you can put a board in to make the garden. So they're the corner posts, and I bought those and I put them around that fabric, which is still just barely there. But instead of the wattle, I used that. And again, I have my bins. Here is the hosta that I dug up from my neighbor, growing strong and looking good. My border. Here's one of my raised beds that I think this is a calendula in the corner that I planted, which I discovered last year is my favorite flower. I love how it smells. I love how you can make salves with it. It's healing. It's beautiful. It's cute. And I'm excited because I got I got a cantaloupe blend this year, so it'll be different colors instead of just yellow, which I love the yellow, but I'm excited. And what is that other picture? Oh, I went to Crow's Nursery up the street from me, and I got a begonia, some onion starts, and some strawberries, June bearing. Got those last year. I don't think any of my strawberries survived. I think I planted the crowns too deep, A, because they never really did well, and B, that planter fell over in a winter windstorm, and it was very dried out. So I don't think I'm getting any of the strawberries back. The begonia, I tried to save the tuber from, and it's down in my basement, and we'll see if I can put it in some dirt, but it really didn't have was so small, like compared to the big flower that was on top. That flowered all summer. I love that plant, that yellow plant. Beautiful. And the onions did well. They didn't get very big, but they did pretty good. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh, here's another hull of hosta from a different neighbor. A lot of my neighbors don't like hosta. I want to dig it up. And guess who gets it? Me. So this, now I have it on the side of my house here. And speaking of neighbors though, the tomatoes next to it were saved for my neighbors because I always make so many that I give them out. And that whole tray went to one of my neighbors of tomatoes. And there's some peppers there too, I think. Some flowers. Here's some radishes. I think these are breakfast radishes that I grew. This is, oh my gosh, what is a rhododendron, I believe, that lives on the side of my house. And that's always been there. And that's beautiful. And it's beautiful pink flowers in the spring. I cut it back and it just keeps on growing. I love that thing. Here is that same side. So the rhododendron is not pictured here, but this used to be a giant poison ivy patch. And last year I went hard. I sprayed it, killed it all, and then I went in with sleeves and gloves and ripped it all out, put it in trash bags so it wouldn't come back. And I got a bunch of tiger daylilies from my mom's house and planted them under this tree with some cardboard under that mulch to hope that the ivy doesn't come back and those daylilies come and I'll be able to add them to my bouquets. So excited. All right, here's some more frog friends. I love the sticky frogs. They're so cute, tree frogs. And we got some more snake plant. This one I think I split off from the big ones, so I have 2 snake plants. And I just had it tied up so it would stay growing tall there. And these are Johnny Jump Ups, which I grew from seed, little cuties. And I've even had a couple of them come back this year. They reseeded. So that's exciting. Bachelor button, zinnia. What do we got? I think this is a poppy. This is slug juice, because I do have a lot of slugs, especially down in those woods. And so I make these little cups. They actually have a lid on them, and I cut the hole. There's slits in the side. I'll do a video on this. And I think in there you put, what did I put? It's like a flour, water, sugar mixture that attracts them. And they just go in there and eat and drown. And then I chuck it out and add some more. It works. I can't believe how many slugs are in there. And then you can put a lid on the top of that container. Here's the Johnny Jump Ups again, snapdragons. Oh, nasturtiums. Last year I grew so many nasturtiums. I put them in bouquets. I hope. I'm having a hard time getting them to start from seed inside. I hope I have some in my winter sowing. But I think I have some friends and family that are actually growing them better than me this year, so I'm sure I can get a plant or 2 from one of them. But I love the nasturtiums. Marigolds, always love marigolds. They're always planted everywhere. See, there's the nasturtiums again. Look how beautiful. They were like red, orange, yellow, everywhere. Loved it. I think that's some chamomile. Look at my shamrock. From back in 2017 until 2023, it's flowering. It's looking real sad right now because it doesn't like winter, but when I put it out in the sun, it's going to get popping. And I think this other one is a geranium. This is a sage. My sage flowered like crazy last year. And I'm curious if it's going to come back this hardcore. Because I feel like once stuff flowers, it's done. I don't know. But the purple flowers on that sage last year were insane. And there's my calendula, my favorite. Here's that begonia again. Look how nice it looked. All year, so many yellow flowers. Some more marigolds. Ranunculus. This, I got like a little 4-pack of corums from the Dollar Tree. And you just soak them, plant them, and look at these babies. Now, I only got 4 flowers. I didn't get like a super lot, but it's enough. And they're beautiful. They remind me of roses. Here is a harvest. Looks like some lettuce and some herbs and some nasturtium that I was probably going to make a focaccia with. And then one of my bouquets from last year. There's some strawberries and a little froggy chilling in my strawberry plant. This was an ever-bearing strawberry that my mom got me. She got me one. I put it in this pot and it would send out extras, and I put other pots around it and kind of stuck the runner in there. So I think I probably have 2 or 3 of them in pots now. And that looks like it's coming back.
It'd be really awesome. That made me at least a handful of strawberries from that one plant. Would love it if I could get it to grow more. And this is just a pot that was down on the bottom of the shelf in the summer that I think I had up potted things and like threw the dirt back in here, and look at that, all the seeds growing. I just threw the discarded dirt from stuff that didn't grow into this pot, and it just started growing things. It's just funny. Stuff wants to grow, guys. Here is, I think this is pepper plants. I'm not sure what this little flower guy is growing. Some more of my little hosta line. And you can see that little trash can bin there. That was my first attempt at trying to make a, oh my gosh, the bin for putting all my food waste in, which I can't even think of the name right now. Compost bin. Oh my god. So I tried to make it out of that trash can. It didn't work that well. It's still there. I'm probably going to take it out this year and get rid of it. Or maybe still try and use it. I don't know. But that's what that little black bin is. Here is some of my inside plants again, and another bouquet I made because we're getting into fall, so things are coming in. I love the mum on my front porch. I definitely bought this one, but I would love it if I could be able to grow these. One of my neighbors has like a row of them next to their house. They come back every year that they don't do anything for. And I want that. I want that beautiful orange. And then this other guy is a Cosmo for my neighbor's yard, which I stole seeds from last year. When I was walking by, I just grabbed a couple seed pods, and I had some started this year, so hopefully I'll be able to have some of these beautiful yellow Cosmos that they reseed and come back every year in that neighbor's yard. She doesn't do anything for them, so I wanted that. And I think that is the end of that 2023 collection that I have for you, because some of it's on here, and then you're in 2024 with me now. You're seeing all of my content, everything I'm growing. I'm gonna finish filling in my little seed packets here and get this video ready for you guys. I hope my walk down memory lane will inspire you to try out growing things, because let me tell you, I wasn't good, but I just kept doing it because it was interesting, fun, made me kind of feel a little powerful. And look at me now. I mean, check it out, y'all. There is a lot of green things in my house. And this is only one room. They're everywhere. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I hope this inspires you to try and grow some things, or even if it's just like a little spider plant. If you want one, come see me. I'll give you one. Thanks so much for watching, guys, for subscribing, for sharing, everything you do for me. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.